Hello and welcome back to Sam's on Wrestling. I am.
Welcome back.
Well, I just assume you already watched. You can't possibly be a new subscriber. It's impossible. Welcome back / welcome to Sam's on Wrestling. I am Baby Sam, and you should not take my opinion seriously. Take his opinion seriously. This is Senior Sam.
Hey, yo.
Exactly. Basically, this is Count Out, where we do. It's essentially a top 10 list of just things we want to discuss. Okay, Sean Spears. This is actually our worst match types. We've got a lot to get through here. And just remember, this is only our opinion. This is not necessarily the worst top 10s. It's just what we think.
Yes, so we don't want you to be sheeps. Don't be sheeps. Don't be. We've heard loads of top 10s where they've told you what the worst is. What's your top 10? So we are doing worst match types.
Yes.
Worst match types. So please, in the comments below, put your top 10 worst wrestling match types. And while you're there, like the thing, share the thing, subscribe to the thing. Really help with the algorithm.
Send me biscuits, please. Yes, so worst match type. I think this is interesting because there'll be ones that are really obscure that neither of us have thought of.
Yes, it's nice to see which ones annoy people the most.
Yes.
I think more than interesting ones. Because some people go, that's a great match type, and they'll be like, just bugger.
Yeah. So, what is your number 10?
I think I'm starting controversial about this in the top 10 already.
I think I know what it's going to be.
It's steel cage match.
Okay.
I think the concept is what annoys me the most. And because the booking towards it is 7 times out of 10 the exact same, right? You've got someone who interferes all the time. We'll put you in a cage, they can't interfere. Guess what? They still interfere. But even if that's not a thing, the whole point of it is this blood feud and they can fight inside a cage and the winner is the one who can run away the quickest. Why? Why is escape an option? Like, it feels like it's for the heel, which is great. But the babyface always tries to escape as well. And there's a door, which makes it even more stupid that sometimes they start climbing over the top. I think it's about there are so many things that just bug me. Like, literally, I've just done a big slam. And then I think, should I do another move? No, I won't walk out the door while they're unconscious. Or they would go, I've knocked them out. Up the corner I go. Or
whenever they try and go through the door, they have to do a slow climb, like their legs don't work whatsoever.
And even the best cage matches that people tell me to go watch. So everyone always refers me to Brett and Owen at SummerSlam, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just, they literally just can't stay fighting for the door. This is a blood feud between brothers. Why are you trying to run away? Like the babyface. No, Brett, you should be dragging him in going, no, I'm going to carry on fighting you. I think the booking of them just annoys me so much that even the good ones, the booking just bugs me.
I absolutely get those points. It's flawed, but whenever there is a steel cage match on, I'm excited. Like if there's one on the Raw or SmackDown, I'm like, oh, a steel cage. And
they don't do as much anymore.
No, I'm really thinking in the past.
Yeah, they were on, literally, when I grew up watching in the Ruthless Aggression era, it was like monthly. It felt like there was a cage match, which might have not actually probably not helped either, that I saw them, what it felt like all the time.
Yeah. I just think the chase to try and escape is always quite suspenseful, but I get what you mean.
It was.
Yeah. My number 10, I just thought I'd put it at 10 because it's quite fitting, is the count-out match. They've done it. I remember Rusev and Jack Swagger.
What, like no count-out match?
No. So, no. The physical concept is you can only win by count-out.
I have no memory of
Rusev
this.
and Jack Swagger, I'm certain, had this as a count-out match. And I can't remember who won. No one won. Nobody wins in a count-out match, especially not the audience.
I have no memory
This
of
is an actual thing. It was 2015 in his US title run. They did a count-out match. And it was, as you would imagine, a Rusev and Jack Swagger count-out match. Horrendous.
I'm going to have to go to the network because I have no memory of this. But if that's real, Sam, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it and it's stupid.
It's as bad as it sounds.
I've got a controversial one at my number 9.
Go on.
And it's very similar to why I don't like number 10. Last Man Standing.
I thought you'd do this.
Last Man Standing, I was like you. Last Man Standing, that's exciting. They could beat each other up and, until you physically cannot get to your feet. And first of all, it got overdone in the Ruthless Aggression era, big time. But when it went to PG era, that's when it got really killed. Because you can't have a Last Man Standing in PG without blood and weapons to the head and stuff like that. Because they started doing stupid gimmicks like tying people to the ring and stuff like that. That's not Last Man Standing then. The referee shouldn't be counting that. Oh, he can't get to his feet. Yeah, because no, he can. You physically stopped him. Therefore, because you're physically stopping him, the count stops. In the same way, you can't just hold the person down. So, like, Bray Wyatt lost one because he was buried under stuff. And he was like, Brock lost one.
Quite literally buried.
Buried under stuff. And I was like, that's not winning a last man standing match, burying. And matches become really repetitive. And you know what? It's not even the worst thing. I've done a move. I now stand away. 1, 2. There's no pace to it. Like, even the best ones, I think the best one in my head is Shawn Triple H Royal Rumble 2004. PG era is not there, so we've got blood and all that lot. And they're a really exciting finish because Shawn couldn't make it. But Earl Hebner was counting every second, and he was going, they're on their feet when they were like on their knees. And it just got, it's a match type that just doesn't fully work for me.
I just think it's usually not done right, but I do get what you mean. It's very flawed, absolutely. Number 9, I've gone with a chairs match.
Big chair!
Yeah. I didn't mind the big chair. I thought that was cool, actually.
It's literally the only reason it's not on my list. It's big chair!
That's literally the only good thing that's come from a chairs match, because come on, just have a no DQ. They literally, it was part of TLC and they thought, we've got tables and ladders matches, so have a chairs match. It's just a no DQ.
I don't know if it's on your list, but the worst thing from TLC was not it's not a chairs match. It's
it's coming. It's coming.
We'll leave that then.
Yeah. It's just boring.
Yeah, I'm same as you. It's just a no DQ. My 8 is a one-off. I don't think we need to talk much about it. It was an eye for an eye match. Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, trying to knock the other person's eye out of their socket. What?
The most barbaric match stipulation ever. And
Rey's just holding this ball bearing. And Rey was back on telly like weeks later after his eye is fallen out. Like, quite frankly, I don't need to say much about it. It's in the COVID era, so it's already a bit weird. They were going to do a CGI, and Vince went, this looks terrible. And he was probably right. And we literally going for someone to knock their eye out in a match. So literally, no. It's stupid, and don't ever, please, ever do it again.
Can I just say, most of us had a bad 2020. Rey Mysterio, mere months before this, was thrown off of a skyscraper. And then managed to survive that and lost an eye. He had a bad year.
Do you know what? Rey Mysterio's like a Terminator. He's a $6 million man. His knees are made of metal, so I'm surprised. He's Terminator.
I'm trying to remember if this was what it was called. Ring of Fire match.
Oh, Bray Wyatt Kane.
Because it's not
the Inferno.
In Inferno, where someone at least gets set on fire.
They get pinned.
They just
couldn't leave the ring.
So it's just hot. That's it. That's literally. And then you can't see the
Bray Kane in the war.
There'll be fire in the vicinity. No, it just sucks. I don't know how much I've said.
Yeah, I know, I agree. Like, the Inferno has an element of fear that you will be set on fire. This has an element of fear that you might. And the minute a stipulation has might.
So what is your number 7?
We're going to TNA. We're in TNA. I say we're in TNA. I could have had King of the Mountain, but I didn't mind King of the Mountain as much as it was silly. The Reverse Battle Royal. Now, Sam, you're not a massive TNA mark like I am. Mark button. The Reverse Battle Royal was 16 wrestlers, let's say, and this was to get a chance to become the number 1 contender, right? And the match started with all the wrestlers outside the ring, and it was a scramble to be the first 8 in the ring.
It's a race.
So you had to get in, but they fought each other. So you got people who are just wandering around, and you're going, there's no one fighting you. Get in the ring. But because he wasn't one, it's like Lance Hoyt is just walking around. You're like, Lance! Lance! It's open, get in the ring! Get in the ring! Like, I think there was a Spanish fly into the ring, which took the opponent in with them. Yeah. It looked good. Rikishi just went, I ain't doing this. Rikishi just walked in, because Rikishi had given up by that point. Fatu, he was in TNA. So they reversed Battle Royal. It's not the first one in, it's the first 8 in. And then they had a normal Battle Royal.
Oh, between the 8 to decide? Okay.
Yeah, but no. It wasn't the winner. No. Because first of all, when you got eliminated, that was your seeding to enter a tournament later in TNA. So if you got eliminated 8th, you were in the 8th slot and you would be taking on the person who won this Battle Royal. However, Sam, it didn't end in a Battle Royal. The last 2 in the match had a normal singles match.
Why?
I don't know. They didn't just finish the Battle Royal. They had a singles match, and that was your seeding. So, by the way, that's the actual match. Just so you know that in these 8 people, Rikishi got released, so he was in the tournament had one match against Bobby Roode, I think, won or lost, but then got released, so he wasn't in the semi-finals, was replaced by Christian, who wasn't in the match, in the Battle Royal at all. Oh, and by the way, I think the tournament ended in a ladder match. Eric Young won the reverse Battle Royal. He was number 1 seed, and he lost in the first round to the person who came 8th.
Why not? I don't know. I've got little words to say to that, to be honest.
Sam, it genuinely might be one of the worst matches in wrestling history, and yes, it was Vince Russo.
Yeah, I've heard of it, and it sounded like an interesting concept. It doesn't anymore.
No, don't watch it.
Yeah, that's very fair. My number 7 is the stairs.
Ah, there it is. That's not a match type.
It's not, is it?
Like, I don't understand when you can only use one weapon.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Like, what is the point? Are you going to get disqualified for using a kendo stick?
Yeah,
no,
they don't ever mention it.
Yeah.
And do you want to know why? I've got something that will come to this, and I'll argue it later. Actually, genuinely, I'll argue it later. This point I was going to make that's very similar, but you're absolutely right. Will there be a disqualification? And they're just using stairs. Stairs isn't an exciting weapon.
No.
It didn't sound good either.
It's
Tables,
sluggish.
ladders, chairs, and stairs. And who did you put in the match? Big Show and Eric Rowan. I like Big Show. I don't mind Eric Rowan. Not in a stairs match.
So number 6, Samuel.
Any match involving a pool or a pool of mud. You know,
okay.
I grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era. A lot of that. Vicky Guerrero, I think, got fired after a mud pool match. It's embarrassing. It's always females. They might do a hog pen match for men, like Triple H did with Phineas Godwin, but like any pool match is embarrassing. I'm sorry, like if you liked that type of, you know, how the women were portrayed in the 2000s, and that, it was the thing of the time, I agree, but I was young at that point, so it was meant to excite me, and I just was embarrassed by it. Watching Trish and Stacey run around in a pool, I don't want to see that. That's not what I'm here to watch. I'm not like one of these people go, I want to watch wrestling. I don't care. I want to watch rubbish as well. I want to watch gimmicks and silly things. That embarrassed me, and I felt ashamed to watch it.
It's one of those you don't want your parents to walk in.
No, and they always did.
Yeah.
Every time. What are you watching there, son? Like, well, you know. Do you know what the worst thing as well? Is every now and then, my telly, because like this is like 2002, and Sky, sometimes satellite, used to be a bit weird, so it might come in fuzzy every now and then. You don't want your parents walking in when they're having a fight in a pool and the screen's going fuzzy. That looks like you're doing something else, and I don't want that to happen.
Exactly. That's very fair. And number 6, I've got an obscure one.
Oh, I like obscure.
The arm wrestle.
Oh, they suck.
It's just a stupid gimmick, and it is technically a match.
It is a match. It's an arm wrestle match.
It's never been good. And why does Mark Henry lose them? He's the strongest man in the world. He's the world's strongest man, and John Cena beats him.
I think the only one I enjoyed was Triple H Scott Steiner, because it's just because of Steiner and Triple H's personality that made that. Because Steiner is like struggling, and just that big smile, and then trying.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
When you do it, it's like as a gimmick. Could be great fun, but you're absolutely right. It always is flat.
Just never enjoyable, is it? So, and it never looks convincing. You're number 5.
Very similar to what I've just mentioned. Bra and panties match. Do I need to say more?
Fair enough.
You like that match? Get help. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's deplorable. I think every woman probably hated it as well, but they were just happy to probably be on telly. No, it is one of the worst matches, and the only reason it's not high is because I really don't like the other 4 coming, and I was a teenager, so I will literally give the idea as a teenager, so, you know, but no, awful, embarrassing, and shameful, personally.
Yeah, it's not on my list, I just didn't think of it really, when I was thinking.
Well, that's the thing, matches are so many.
Because is it like even a wrestling match? It technically is, but yeah.
It's stripping. I don't want, because even the ones that's for the man, because the man's like the tuxedo. Yeah. They're always embarrassing as well. Yeah, always embarrassing.
Never great, is it? Number 5, I've gone pole match. Because do I need to explain? They've never been good. It's always for a stupid stipulation. And even sometimes when it's for like a contract or something, it just looks rubbish. Because it's like whenever someone's down, it's like the cage thing, but even worse. It's like you can literally just walk and get it. Like you climb a turnbuckle. People do that to go to the top rope all the time. Yeah. It's just never looked good. It's always been rubbish. And if I ever see one again, I'll be very deeply upset.
Yeah, they hurt me.
And everything it's associated with. Judy Bagwell. Come on.
Not even on a pole. No. I want to see her on a pole, hanging. Yeah, exactly. Like,
if you're going to do it, commit to it.
Like Bart in The Simpsons, just hanging off the pole. Number 4 is the I Quit match.
I disagree.
Now, I have this in the same boat as the Last Man Standing match. And it's, again, I think the reason I don't like it is A, and it's generally this is the main reason. Name a babyface who has lost an I Quit match.
Technically Stone Cold, but not really.
Every single answer will always be technically not, because Mankind lost one, Royal Rumble 99, and they played his audio of saying I quit. It's a babyface win. And John Cena has been in so many of them at the end that you went, well, Cena's not going to quit, so what's the point in the match? And the matches have been alright, but again, it's the constant, are you going to quit? Are you going to quit? Go and watch the first ever one, Backlund versus Brett. They have Piper as the special guest referee. And genuinely turn it into a drinking game. Because Piper goes, what do you say? What do you say? Over and over and over and over. And by the way, the microphone's on a cable. So he has to run to he controls in the corner, he runs to the corner. What do you say? So much so that he knew the match wasn't working, that Brett had like Backlund in a headlock. And he goes, Backlund, what do you say? Backlund, what do you say? Brett, do you quit? So even Piper knew the match wasn't working. I get that I'm controversial here, but every time I book it, I go, well, they're winning then, or it's going to be a screwy finish. It's never, ever been clean for the babyface to lose, and it's never been interesting when you watch the match. If they book it in such a way that they don't ask a lot, it's okay, but how often do you watch it and they don't ask a lot?
Yeah.
It's constant. I think the only one I didn't mind was Cena-Orton, I think. But again, how many babyface win in a submission move? Yeah. Why are you winning in a submission move? Have a submission match then, or a regular match. If they're just going every single I Quit, the babyface wins always seems to be in a submission move as well.
Yeah. Ugh. I just think you can name a lot of good ones. I get maybe the stipulation, in your opinion, doesn't add to it.
It's the same as the cage. You can name loads of very good cage matches, but every time they say I quit, I do just go like that. And that's what it is. I'm there going, is it the worst match? Like, no, it's not. But for me, every time, it just makes me just drop.
I always get quite excited at an I Quit match. So I disagree personally, but I get your points, in fairness. Number 4 for me, you might have it higher, I've gone Punjabi Prison.
Right.
Number 4, I just have 3 that are worse, but we can ramble about the Punjabi Prison all day long. Visibility, you can't even see what's going on. It doesn't...
It's made of metal.
Look, yeah, exactly.
It's not made of bamboo, it's made of metal.
It doesn't look great. It's name a good Punjabi Prison match.
I have to admit, no, I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to talk about it later.
It's the 2 layers of the cage. It's never worked for me. It's just always
two cages have never worked.
It's always looked naff.
Yeah.
And it's never excited me once.
No.
I've always groaned when one's announced. So you're number 3, Samuel.
A bull rope match or a strap match.
Oh, I disagree.
So I grew up in the era where it wasn't pinfall. They're okay. I'm not talking the ones with a pinfall. I am literally okay with a match in a pinfall. It's the ones where you have to touch the 4 corners.
Oh, God.
There you go. Now you're on it.
Okay.
Now you're with me. Because every match is the exact same, right? Every single match I've ever seen in 4 corners, the heel is walking around and the babyface behind is like struggling or is being held. And then they touch the second one. Can I just say, if heel touches and then babyface touches, you're back to 0. Just throwing that out there. That's cancelled that. But apparently that's not. So let's say you're allowed to do that. And then they touch the 3rd. And then the heel is just about to wander over and touch the 4th. And the heel grabs the thing. And they have a tug of war. And they have a tug of war. Every single time. Literally touching 4 corners to win a match. It's a game of tag. Or like, when you were a child and you had to get back to base or something like that. Oh, it doesn't work.
But also the audience has to remember which turnbuckles you've touched.
Well, thankfully they did the lights thing later on. Yeah, they put red and green lights. Because back in like 99, I remember Sable versus Luna Vachon didn't have that. So you have to make sure. Yeah. But it never works. It always ends the same way. And again, JBL beat Eddie Guerrero in that match. And I always hate it. Yeah. If it's pinfall, I'm okay with it. I generally am, because like...
I think it's great. As a pinfall, like Punk MJF, where you can't be separated and it's really barbaric. That's what it should be. But they don't do those. Most of the time, they're not a barbaric thing either. So, it's the one with the corners. I hate the one with the corners. You're number 3, Sam, darling. I've gone with the lights out match. My word, that was bad. And obviously, like, Bray and
It's so sad that that's Bray's last match.
It's really sad, isn't it? It's really sad.
But do you know what? The reason it's not on mine, and it was bad, is because that match is bad. But you do realise there have been other lights out matches. It's been loads. Yeah, there's been a great one in AEW. There was a good one in NXT. That's why it wasn't on, because everyone remember that one because it's the most famous.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen the other ones, and that's the key, isn't it?
No, and maybe it shouldn't be.
Go and watch the other ones. They are actually okay. They're actually all right.
And I'm basing this off of the Bray and LA Knight match, and it was.
You know, they kept doing that on house shows, that match, and it got better and better and better, apparently.
Fair enough.
But they did it after the Royal. They did it after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So what's the point? It's like, surely you do it before to get good at it.
Yeah. At least it got LA Knight over.
Yeah. True.
Without that, LA Knight, I don't think would be in the position he got to over the next year.
Possibly. I just remember watching the match, and it was so ridiculous enough. And it was also you're having Bray, who's this Uncle Howdy, is this British speaker character, and it's a brand match. Was it Mountain Dew?
Like Mountain Dew lights out. Yeah.
No, just terrible for me. I really.
But
didn't
not
enjoy
even with all the finesse and things going on. Bray's paint.
It's paint parties, UV paint. I've been to a few of them. They're much better than that match.
I don't know why they couldn't have just had a match.
Yeah, what was wrong with that?
Yeah.
I hated it. Number 2.
This is where I've got on a poll. Because you talk about Judy Bagwell, WCW did much worse. They had so many things. They actually had a 4 corners one where the WCW title was in one of them. So in the pictures they had like a picture of Scott Hall is one of them. And when Booker T found where the world title, it fell out of the box. Because they were in boxes that they didn't know. So the world title's now on the floor, so you have to go like, just climb out the ring. I found the world title, and it's not there. And my biggest bugbear is exactly what you said. When they put a weapon on there, can you not use another weapon?
Yeah,
or is it disqualification? And I'll tell you it's not, because when Undertaker and Brock did their with a biker chain, I'm pretty certain a chair got involved in that match. So when you do a weapons only thing and they use another one, because I remember this wasn't on a poll. Kane versus Snitsky at Taboo Tuesday, they had a chain match since he used the chair. It's no DQ then.
Yeah.
And that annoys me so much. I find them exactly the same as you did. They're a worse version of a cage. If I have to have a cage on there because of the booking of it, this has one booking decision. At least cage gives you variety at the very least. Who can climb to the top turnbuckle? You do it all the time, lads.
Yeah.
Just climb up there. There's no one there.
Yeah.
Get up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Yeah. Pole match. My number 2 is the shark cage match.
But it sells toys, Sam. It sells toys.
So do the Ewoks. Didn't mean I liked it.
Enzo Amore covered himself. How was Enzo Amore being mentioned in another video? He was
Quite
mentioned in Big
young.
Show's power rankings. He covered in baby oil to slip out of the cage and then got big booted immediately. What more do you want?
At least I like that gimmick.
Jericho at the top being, I'm a sexy pinata. That's funny.
That's funny, yeah. At least
do you know what? Actually, it's one of my favourite gimmicks.
Is it in your top 10 best?
Yes,
is it? Yeah.
It's now in my top 10 best. Do you know they did that match years prior with Paul Bearer? This isn't new. This is not new.
Paul Bearer gets a tough run of things.
Because also
He's always putting
they
things.
did it on NXT with Paul Ellering as well with the Authors of Pain. So it has happened quite a lot.
Me, it's just a match and something's above it. It never comes into play unless Jericho slips a brass knuckles, which is fine.
Good.
But you can do that anyway in any other type of match if he's in the corner.
Yeah, but then Cordy Graves gets going. It's good to have friends in high places.
Okay, you made a point.
What a call!
Yeah, great call. Bad match, terrible. It never
It's
is
not
used.
great. It's just a normal match happening and a distraction.
It just looks.
And the person always gets involved.
The person in the
Again,
cage
like
also.
a cage match, always involves in the finish.
Yeah, it's just like move the cage a bit further away. So
And it's swinging.
Yeah.
Like a chandelier that's been caught in the wind. I love that. No, I think the shark cage should be like a ladder match, and you've got to win.
Climb together. Custody of Jericho match. Yeah.
That's what Dominic should have been.
Just put him in
been a
cage.
little small boy with a cup, just rattling around.
Get him out of the cage. Brilliant.
What do you think my number 1 is, Sam?
I really don't know because there's a lot of options.
You've mentioned it already.
Oh, have I? I'm going to go Punjabi prison.
It is the Punjabi prison. Now you say you name a good one. Sam, you weren't watching when the first 2 came about. You've only seen 1, technically, in terms of live. And the problem with the Punjabi prison match, right, and the reason it's the worst match type is because of the wrestlers who have been in it. Yeah. You had, first of all, was Undertaker and a last-minute replacement Big Show, because Carly had Ray's liver enzymes, which a few other people had at the time, meaning there was an issue going around. And Big Show clearly didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. They kind of were trying to play with it, but actually what ended up happening is they did everything you could do. But you've got 2 large men. Then it was replaced with Carly and Batista. 2 large men. And then finally, Jinder and Randy Orton. Thankfully 2 smaller men, but 2 kind of immobile, not really athletic. And that's the issue with this match. This match, if you put some exciting wrestlers in there, imagine you put someone like Seth Rollins or someone like that in there, could have been something else. But because it was always about the idea of being a barbaric prison, so it was with people who for some reason had to be of Indian descent because they said Punjabi, which is what shot them in the foot, the name of it. I actually think the look of it, when you look at it, goes, that's really impressive. And then to watch it, it's impossible. You can't see anything. It's not interesting. Every match has been terrible, has been really, really terrible. It's climb to climb. And you've got to get out of the cage, you've got a minute with the door opening, but you can still climb out of the cage anyway, and it's not sharp. It was barbed wire on top or something. But they said, oh, it's sharp bamboo. But they're not that wide.
Yeah. You could literally fit through it very easily.
It's not keeping anyone out, let alone keeping anyone in.
No. I can't disagree with anything.
I'm amazed it's not as high for you, but I feel you've got cage within a cage coming as your number one.
It's quite related. So I just wrote down dog match. I can't remember what it was called. Is it Kennel in Hell or something? what you'll know. What was it called? Where you've got these really adorable dogs on the outside.
Keep going.
Where you're just ready to... Or do you just want me to do more names?
Yeah, no, keep going with names. Keep doing dog puns.
Yeah. Pet in the set. You've got a good boy in a convoy. I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
Convoy.
Yeah. You've got dogs, so it's supposed to be... Yeah, kennel for them. You're supposed to got really, really ruthless, rabid dogs. And they're just really adorable, cuddly dogs.
Weeing and pooing and mating.
Yeah, and then, what is it? You've got to climb out of the cage?
You have to get out of the cage to get out of the cell. And you put in two wrestlers also who weren't that exciting to watch.
Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man and Al Snow, in what was already a weird storyline because he'd already killed Al Snow's dog, Pepper, and served it to him as a meal, which is just weird. That match has never been done since, and they've never put a cage inside of a cell since. Because you don't double stipulation. You don't do it. I quit match in Hell in a Cell. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Never do double stip.
Doesn't work.
Never double dip your egg rolls.
Yeah. And you know
That's
what?
for the Americans. That's for the Americans. It's a spring roll.
Yeah.
It's a spring roll.
Yeah.
But no, I think as two number ones, Kennel from Hell and Punjabi Prison, might as well be the exact same. And that's really great. That's good to see. It's good to see. Those are our top 10 worst gimmick matches. What are your top 10? Which ones do you make? You go, oh, we got to watch that again? Please put it in the comments below. I would absolutely love to see them. Love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We are Sam's on Wrestling, and thank you for watching. Au revoir.
S'il vous plaît.
The dogs are so cute.
They're really cute.
Who's a cute little Who's a cute little Rottweiler? Who's a cute little Rottweiler?
They're just there for more support, really.
Oh, more support Rottweiler.
Exactly.
Oh.
Could be a good manager.
Yeah. Like Fifi.
Yes.